There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge. I cremated Sam Magee. Now, Sam Magee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South, around the pole to roam, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. Though he'd often say, in his homely way, he'd sooner live in hell. It was on a Christmas Day, and we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Now, talk of your cold. Through a parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd close, the lashes froze. Sometimes we could not see. It tweren't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam Magee. That very night, as we lay packed in tight in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were fed and the stars o'erhead were a-dancing heel to toe. He turns to me, and Cap, says he, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. He seemed so low, I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of a moan, it's this cursed cold. It's got right hold till I'm chilled clear through to the bone. Yet, 'tain't being dead. It's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear, foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains. Well, a pal's last need is a thing to heed. So I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the stroke of dawn. But God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched in the sleigh, and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. But before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam Magee. And there wasn't a breath in that land of death, as I hurried, horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brain, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate these last remains. Well, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. But in the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart I cursed that load. In the long, long night, by the lone firelight, while the huskies, round in a ring, howled out their woes to the homeless snows. Oh God, how I loathe that thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavier and heavier grow. But on I went, though the dogs were spent, and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad. I felt half mad, but swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to that hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Until I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and there a derelict lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. I looked at it, I thought a bit, then I looked at my frozen chum. Then here, says I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor and lit the broiler fire. Some coal I found that was laying around and heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared, the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. Then I bored a hole in the glowing coal and stuffed in Sam Magee. Then I took a hike, for I did not like to hear him sizzle so. The heavens scowled, the huskies howled, the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but hot sweat rolled down my cheek, and I don't know why. The greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and danced about ere again I ventured near. I was filled with dread, but bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked. It's time I looked, and the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. He wore a smile you could see for a mile, and he said, please, shut that door, for it's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are some strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Lamarge. I cremated Sam Magee. And that's my story, and I'm a sticking to it. I guard tootin' I am. Just try to make me change.